Aloha Golden Pod, Cosmic Love here, dropping in for a beautiful love stream meditation. An invitation to align with the geometries of the twin ray. Just gonna get a little flashlight here. There we go. Thanks for tuning in. Just getting set up here. Love we all so much. Aloha, beautiful golden pod. Love we so much. We're just going to keep aloha, Mr. Universal Love. We're just going to keep dropping in as golden pod through these energies now. If this love stream is inspiring, please share it out. Share it out to our networks before we go into the transmission and the description of what the guidance is showing is occurring right now. So it's a very exciting time for all of we. And there's a lot that's been coming through since our last miracle coordinate drop-in. These song lines on the earth through Uluru, the rainbow feminine serpent line, has been in activation, and the Australian whale dreamers, the indigenous, have shown us and told us that this completion of this ceremony that has occurred is going to bring very beautiful energies to all of us on the earth. And so there is a lot of energy coming through tonight. You can probably hear it in my voice. When the download started coming in today just getting the little tripod set up. Please send this out. Aloha Scotty One Love. Aloha Christine. Aloha Shanti Love. Aloha beautiful golden pod. We love we so much. Please share this out to our networks before we go into take off with this transmission. We love we so much. It's a super exciting geometries coming in now. And so we are going to practice our whole brain state. We'll just take a moment to let people drop in, share this out to our networks, share if you know this live stream is going to be exciting. Please share. That's called gifting. And I'm also inspired, just getting my little tripod set up here, I was inspired by the guidance today to say that if you want to contribute in other ways, I've put my PayPal account on here because I keep getting messages from people saying, Cosmic Love, I really want to support you and what you're doing. I want to support these transmissions to keep flowing. And I want to make a contribution to you in another way. So how can I do that? So I'm going to start putting that up on the love streams as well. Yay. Amazing to see our cosmic love pod here right now. Once again, we're just going to invite the pod to take a miracle to share this out, perhaps start a watch party. And we're just going to take a moment right now to just drop in, relax. So, excuse me. We love we so much. And I'm very inspired by the guidance right now to continue to share energetic transmissions to keep our pod flowing along. So as we all know, there's a gene that I talk about all the time. Guidance told me I was here for two reasons: to ignite the 35th gene, which is the gene of unconditional love, the shortcut in our blueprints, the shortcut out of the binary code of the DNA, And we just took a quantum leap out of the binary codes of our DNA through the alignments that we've just gone through. A really amazing transmission came out Sunday morning. And the guidance equated it to basically to the movie The Matrix and the unplugging of the binary coding that we have been inside of in our two-strand DNA. Now, what I often share is that when the 60th CD ignites in multiple beings, it will be the end of the world as we know it, and Gaia and the cells that make up her consciousness will move forth into a new reality. It is based on the triple helix, which is why the 369 Nikola Tesla said if we understood the meaning of the 369, we would understand the meaning of the universe itself, because what it says in the 60th gene is that the carbon-based form that we are in is too dense to move into other realms of the cosmos beyond two conditions, time and gravity. It says when we surpass our belief in gravity and time, we then can transcend into a triple helix, which is beyond binary, and traverse the cosmos. This is why Nikola Tesla was giving us keys, because the binary code is part of a matrix called two-strand DNA. So, we are currently the sun in the genetics of the 64 codons of human DNA. And if this love stream is inspiring, please share it. That's called a gifting. Just keep sharing it out to our networks. All of these transmissions coming through now are key, calling forth a core continuum on the planet that understand our shortcut beyond this reality is to create a simple container by unifying and sharing these love streams and expanding our container of those who are participating, those who are receiving the codes in these love streams. Us in our meditative state, which the guidance is going to keep offering meditations regularly, we become the container of the 60th gene. When the 60th CD ignites in multiple beings, it will be the end of the world as we know it, and Gaia and the cells that make up her consciousness will move forth into a new reality. So for those of us who know we won one love, some of the great expressions Scotty One Love loves to say. Scotty, great song. Scotty just put out a song, completed a song called We One Love. So a lot of us who've had the full awakening inside of the self and still wake up in what appears to be a 3D world are asking this question continually. How do we bridge? We move into forming a simple container for a transmission to flow through us collectively that is beyond these realms. This body is what is called a 6-3 profile in human design. The 6-3 is beyond these realms. The 6-3 is an old soul, walks in this world, not of it. So the 6-3 has access beyond the 64 codons, beyond the 64 tetrahedron that the consciousness of the collective is inside of. So the 6-3 has the capacity to bring the energy, the transmission into these realms. If this love stream is inspiring, please share it out, because we're going to go into meditation. It's going to be very profound. And we're just explaining a few things right now. So, the 6-3 in human design has the capacity to bring energy in from beyond this realm. So when we show up creating the container, saying, we get it, and we're going to form a container for the transmission to flow. We become the container of the 60th CD when the 60th CD ignites in multiple beings, because the transmission is igniting and activating inside of us what is necessary for the container that shows up to move into other realms. We keep referring to the Celestine prophecies recently. The 9th scroll in the Celestine prophecies shows that they didn't have to take a sledgehammer to take down the old world. Their energetic vibration shifted and suddenly they were in a new world. That is what the 60th CD is telling us. So the mind might say, this is too sci-fi to believe. But don't worry about the mind, because the mind is doing its best inside of 2-strand DNA. So the Matrix, the movie The Matrix, was all about transcending the binary codes. That is what is occurring now. For those of us who know that this is an artificial matrix, a hologram, beautiful at that, and could say it's a game, we can say whatever we want. But when we unify together in a container of 9th wave, the transmission can flow through us together and uplift us, just like in that scene in the Celestine prophecies when they're being chased by the military and suddenly they're in the garden. There's an amazing waterfall and the soldiers don't see them anymore. Okay, so what we are going to, the guidance has explained that what is coming in right now, and we can equate it with the genes. So Richard Rudd and I were born 3 days apart. And the guidance showed that he brought in the codes to open the Venus sequence, the 7 sacred seals around the heart, and that what was coming through me so he brought that through in a Mercury or a Venus occultation. Venus was crossing the sun. That's when the Venus sequence came in to open the 7 seals around the heart. Mercury occulted the sun means it travels across the face of the sun, May 2016. So Mercury in some of the astrology is the ruler of Virgo, and this chart has 10 planets in Virgo. So when Mercury occulted the sun, we received the codes for this next quantum leap. So we one, as in O-N-E, unity consciousness is 9th wave. We talk about it often with Carl Kalman's book. I have it here somewhere. Right here. The 9 waves of creation. Nautilus, look at the front of his book and look what showed up on the beach. Oh my gosh, a whole bunch of sand just fell out of it. How fun. Look what showed up on the beach just the other day. Try to get that sand back in there. The day that we did the lunar eclipse transmission on the beach, and the guidance said, push through. Aloha, Mr. Josh Passmore. We're going to do a meditation. We're just explaining, aloha, freedom. Aloha, Mr. Gauchi. Okay, we're just explaining right now what the guidance says is happening. So notice Carl Kalman's 9 waves of creation, and notice the shell. Oh, that was a lot of sand that just poured out. I think you could even see the shell that, oh my gosh. Like half a beach just fell out of this shell. I'm not kidding you. This is hilarious. Higher self, you are so fun. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to get the vacuum out in here for sure. Here, we'll put it in the hang on. I'll just put it in the medicine bowl. Wow. Okay, I better not turn it that way anymore. This shell, more than half the size of my head, was on the beach the other day. And look, it's just like the front of Kalaman's 9 waves of creation. Thank we highest self for giving us all the codes right here. Okay, so so funny how much sand just came out of that. Here's what the guidance says is happening. So the I Ching, it's not the same cover that Richard used to have, which was a little bit easier to understand. Programmed in our solar plexus is our coding that keeps us connected to two-strand DNA. If this love stream is inspiring, please share it out, because we're going to go into meditation, and we are currently setting up the harmonic field for the transmission. I'm going to say again, people keep saying to me, how do we bridge the worlds? How do we bridge the financial system? Well, we don't. We focus on the quantum. It might be for others to bridge those things. But those who are showing up for these love streams have an understanding inside of ourselves that we have a quantum capacity to vibrate ourselves in a particular way that, love the ultraviolet light, thanks Scotty One Love, to vibrate the cells in a particular way that actually moves us forth into a new reality. It's real. It's so real. So we are now practicing as a global team to do this together. And each time we show up together to hold the container and share these love streams out while they're coming out, we are actually forming the container for this emanation to flow through us together. Now, the sun moves through the 64 codons of the human DNA like a clock. Many people probably already know that. On one of Richard Rudd's websites, they have something called the pulse, and it shows every day, every week, how the sun is moving through the genes just like a clock. So right now we're in the 61st gene. When this body and consciousness made a leap in and out of time and space, one of the leaps that we made brought the consciousness back through 1:11 a.m. on January the 11th, 2017. So if you add up 2017, if you add it all up, you get a 1, 0, you get a 10. So that's 1111. That's an 1111. 1111 is the prime frequency of love within the twin ray. So the clock, the sun right now, is illuminating the 61st gene. The 61st gene became part of this blueprint when we did that quantum leap. What the Paul says about the 61st gene today, we made notes of it, so let's find our notes here, because we make all of these notes in love, and we spend our days pulling through coordinates to share with all of us. So if this love stream is inspiring, please share it, because it is my great passion to share these codes for all of us to understand how to transcend our consciousness through. So, oh, I know, I did them on this paper. Okay, so what the guidance says in our meditation we are going to be doing tonight is actually connecting in with the geometry of our twin ray. If the love stream is helpful, please share it. Okay. So in the pulse, Richard Rudd's pulse, it says, this light is so bright, hang on, scary. It says, each plane of being has a living geometry. When the perfect geometry of the higher planes descends, even for a moment, it instantaneously aligns. Hang on, I've got to turn this flashlight off. When the perfect geometry of the higher planes descends, even for a moment, it instantaneously aligns the geometries of the lower subtle bodies. So this is the gene that we're in right now. So we have the capacity to, through the stillness, through the transmission, through the meditation, we have the capacity to literally line up all the Russian dolls that make up all of the geometries of human and transcendent of human beyond ninth wave. We actually have the capacity to do this right now. And we can, time isn't real and doesn't exist, but in linear, we are supported exponentially to do it right now because the sun is affecting the 61st gene. It's illuminating the 61st gene. Okay, so we I need this bright flashlight. Oh, yes. Okay. Like iron filings following a magnet. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time. Sorry. So, I'm sorry for being a little off in the reading. Each plane of being has a living geometry. When the perfect geometry of the higher planes descends, even for a moment, it instantaneously aligns the geometry of all the lower subtle bodies like iron filings following a magnet. Now we're going to jump into a meditation where Joe Dispenza always does this. He gives the scientific information. He always goes, stay with me here, stay with me, because I'm setting you up for an experience. That's what Joe always says. Joe gives us the scientific data. He gives us coordinates so that when we go into the meditation, we understand what we are navigating, because there's mechanics to these things. So we are setting we up for an experience. The guidance is setting us up for an experience. So like iron filings, all of the lower bodies set up because all of the geometries align that make up who we are as human and beyond. Like the 60th gene says, the universe is teeming with life beyond two-strand DNA. That higher geometry works through our aura. He's saying this is how Christ performed miracles. That higher geometry worked through his aura on all those who were present in his field. Many psychotics came to him, so the shadow of the 61st gene is psychosis. Many psychotics came to him, people disturbed by so-called demons. When they say that he cast out the demons, it means that the living, perfect geometry of truth realigned so many notes I made today. It realigned all those subtle layers so that those minds were instantaneously reordered. The mind is not what we think it is, for it exists on its own plane of being. The mental plane, that plane, attracts and repels. Thought forms. So when he says that this plane, the field, the mental plane exists on its own plane and it attracts and repels thought forms, this is why we have always said, like, In the spiritual path, a lot of people just started writing friends off and writing families off and writing people off, going, I'm done with that part of my life. Projecting onto energy bodies incomplete resolution inside of ourselves with the programs of the mind. We can't reject on things outside of us. Alignment and true spiritual awakening comes by being fully responsible, learning how to navigate every level of the geometries inside of us. We got to be the Bruce Lee. We have to align the mental body, align the emotional body the moment we close the door on something or someone, because the mental plane attracts and repels. We are the loser because we are missing our opportunity to bring the mental plane into alignment inside of us. This is how we walk the tightrope across the canyon. Ourselves. So every level of the process here is about spiritual maturity and spiritual responsibility. Because this 61st gene that is activated right now is about the mental plane, and the mental plane in duality attracts and repels. Don't be foiled by the thought forms going through us and start shutting doors on everything and everyone. Jesus and all the other ascended beings did not shut doors on everything and everyone. It's about learning to navigate these realms in totality. So because this field is about thought forms, the purer the thought form, the more perfect its geometry in your aura. And the less pure the thought form, the more disturbing its geometry. When we say disturbing, we mean creating ripples. When we say it's like perfect, our thought forms are more perfect. Its geometry in the aura is perfect. What that means is it stills the aura. When the aura is still, the aura is aligned with the adamantine particles of creation. That's the subtlest form where the particle and the wave converge. We call it the Sophionic harmonic. So disturbing thought forms create more havoc, basically, in our aura. Pure thought forms create stillness in the aura, which then aligns the aura with the quantum field, with 0 point, and that's when the consciousness is back in that razor's edge of being the particle and the wave simultaneously. Once again, we're sharing all of this before we go into the meditation because we are setting we up for an experience. We are sharing with we coordinates so that we start to go, oh my God, that's the moment. This body has had, this consciousness in this body has had many profound experiences in meditation. Some of them caught on brain maps, and some of them are very famous brain maps. Having the set up before the meditation gave we the extra handhold coordinates to stay in it when we were getting close to that place, and poof, this consciousness went out of this time-space continuum. This consciousness went and saw the mechanics of this entire matrix and how it works. That's what we are here to share now. So we're sharing an experience. We're setting ourselves up for an experience. So this is why We want to still the mind, because the less pure thoughts create all these ripples. It's like this. If you're going to put on an invisibility cloak, or you want to be invisible, don't create ripples. And what is invisible but quantum? If you don't want to be if you want to be quantum, we got to learn to master. I like the word perfect these aspects inside of us. This is like Flight Lessons 101 on steroids, good, natural, organic steroids. So he goes on to say that, the less pure the thought form, the more disturbing its geometry. The more selfish is the character. Gosh, my notes here. Hang on. I need this flashlight again. Next time I'm going to get a less bright one. The more selfishness is catastrophic in your aura. I'm going to make my notes more tidy next time. Selfishness is catastrophic in your aura, whereas the music of sanctity is so refined and pure, it changes everything in your environment. So, that is what the sun is currently illuminating after we've gone through these massive transits. Now, these transits aren't real when we're in the quantum. They're only real, and they only affect us as we are navigating our way out of the realms of the binary system of two-strand DNA. It's like passing through an asteroid belt, and once you're through, you're through. Right now, this is what our consciousness is remembering to navigate. How to pass through. Crystal Kelly Jean, aloha. Our conscious, and by the way, hashtag that out of this transmission. That's another thing the guidance said. We're supposed to hashtag the out of everything right now. So if there's anything that's standing out in this love stream while we're listening to this part, please hashtag the out of it, because that is actually creating a quantum language itself in the transmissions. Okay, so the guidance is saying that what is happening right now, so back to this is about a living geometry. We'll just go back to the beginning of these notes. Each plane of being has a living geometry. When the perfect geometry of the higher planes descends, even for a moment, it instantaneously aligns the geometry of all the lower subtle bodies. So, what the guidance is sharing is happening right now, and what's going to be coming through this transmission is not only the alignment of all those higher bodies, the alignment of the geometries of all of our bodies that make up all the planes of our existence as human and beyond human, beyond ninth wave, and our twin ray. So this meditation is going to allow for that overlay of both us and our twin ray, geometries to align in the quantum field so that the twin rays can fully embody in the physical. This is like that scene, and it's so awesome because the Leo King just brought this up. We love to, thanks Chango and Dolores, thanks for hashtagging. Let's start hashtagging this out of the love stream. Because universal love has been copying all the hashtags, and we're realizing it's actually creating a language of its own, the pieces that stand out and what people are hashtagging in the love streams. So we've got a great social media team, and thank heavens for Mr. Universal Love, who's doing so many things to assist in these transmissions also, our great golden pod. 2019 and a lot of this early stage of 2020 is us developing our sovereignty. So it's this very piece about aligning all the geometries. Another thing that's going on right now is that Ra, Ru, and Human Design said that this is basically the end of the year. The Gregorian calendar in the new year is not aligned with anything cosmic or anything related to the body. Aloha, Jill. So what we're actually coming to, it's actually January 20th. So perfect. January 20th, 2020 is actually when the sun illuminates the start codon in that binary system. That's what's considered the beginning of the new year according to the genes and Human Design. Right now we are in the final stages of the year. So what Ra Ru would say was, this is the time to just step back, examine the year, and see if our spiritual and our purpose aligned. And just examine and see where it did, where it didn't, make the shifts, whatever shifts we might still want to make. I love seeing those hashtags. So awesome. Love we team. So what we want to do is just kind of take stock inside of ourselves, anything else that we need to release. Remember, we're not releasing things outside of us. It might look like it, but we're actually releasing, clearing, and purifying inside of us. The whole journey, the whole process is an inside job. So in this 61 and this 62nd gene key, which partners with it, we are just now coming into this geometry piece. So we have a perfect opportunity to go, oh, I understand what's happening. I'm going to spend all my miracle attention on perfecting my awareness with my energy, my words, my actions in every miracle right now. Because that's Christos. That's the Christos. It's like that. Happens like that. We've been learning to sustain the field. Now we're coming to the place where we're holding the field. And in this alignment, here's the really cool thing, is that after this 61st gene, we go into, I think we go directly into the 60th. And that's the one we always talk about. When the 60th CD ignites in multiple beings, it'll be the end of the world as we know it. Gaia and the cells that make up our consciousness will move forth into new reality. Just like in the amazing Celestine prophecies. And then after that, the 41st gene is activated by the sun, which is the start codon. And whatever happens when the start codon is activated, the start codon, the proteins, the way that they set up, the moment the sun goes into the start codon, whatever occurs after that start codon, the sun goes into the start codon, literally is setting out the code for what is to occur. But think about it. It's going, like the way the clock is set up, it's going, the 60th CD ignites in multiple beings. The 60th CD is Babaji's CD, moving in and out of time and space. If this love stream is inspiring, please share it. So the way that the keys are set up is it gives us an opportunity, if we're connected to the physicality and moving through the linear, every year, the end of the year, we are given the opportunity to take a leap out of the binary out of the two-strand DNA, that all we have to do is overcome our belief in time and gravity. And it's way easier than it seems, because it doesn't happen from the mind. It happens from the heart. It happens from opening up the heart. Then the 41st gene is activated, the start codon, which means it's another round of the 64 codons in the clock. So we as a pod have a container to share these love streams, to go into the quantum together, these meditations that have been coming through. I'm getting so many notes from people saying like, you just took us all on ship. We just all went on ship together. And we are the ship. Our bodies together make up the simple container for the magic to flow. So the guidance is saying that right now, as we're completing this cycle, we have the capacity to, if we thought of it like this apparatus around us and all these different layers, like being inside of a spinning gyroscope, we actually have the capacity to go into this meditation and go, I remember that. Now I know what this is. I know how to do this. I've done this a million times before. It's called the 9-arc Merkaba. When my 9-arc Merkaba was activated in 2015, it came instantly with, came with a shock. My 9-arc Merkaba was activated, and it was connected with the 9-arc Merkaba of the earth. My 9-arc Merkaba was originally activated in 2014, my individual 9-arc Merkaba. In 2015, it was connected with the 9-arc Merkaba of the earth. What does that mean? The 9-arc Merkaba, what the guidance showed me, is that what Richard Rudd did with the gene keys was he brought us to the place of completion where we could graduate our own blueprint. And this being has graduated from the blueprint many times and gone out, come back in to bring more codes in. That's the 6-3. He gave us the codes to complete our, what Drunvalo used to teach, the activation of, the triangle that points up and the triangle that points down, the masculine and feminine unification. What the guidance showed the 9-arc Merkaba is that the 9-arc Merkaba is the foundation of the twin ray. So the twin ray is that cosmic consciousness, cosmic love is twin ray. It's the unification of our cosmic masculine, feminine, our cosmic mother-father principle. And now we have the capacity to embody physically in that cosmic love. So the 9-arc Merkaba, the guidance showed, is actually, it's like you could think of it like the spaceship where our masculine and feminine twin ray exist. Not our twin flame, our twin ray. The original spirit that replicated itself. It's identical. It's like identical twins. That is in the 9-arc Merkaba ray. So, we, according to the guidance, because all these downloads were coming today, and I was going like, oh my God, it's so big. We now have the capacity, and this is why many channels said 2019 we'd be working on our sovereignty. 2020 we'd still be working on our sovereignty. Ciel Symphonique, he's just sent a text. Get on the love stream. Someone message Ciel Symphonique Golden Pot. So all of we's work on the planet was to activate the serpent lines and to activate the major masculine and feminine lines on the planet so that many people could embody with their beloved twin rays, hand in hand in the garden. Why did we do this? Because Gaia is choosing. Diana, aloha. This love stream is exciting. Share it out, because we're going to go into meditation and it's profound. Those of us who have been running cosmic tantra through our bodies, working with the grid lines, there's a handful of beings on the planet that run the cosmic twin ray through our bodies, because the guidance sent us out to do that. I didn't know what it was. It just started happening. So it's happening for more people now. People are like feeling orgasmic. And that's because this cosmic tantra is starting to ignite in our bodies. And Gaia is choosing it. That's why she started giving the codes to many of us how to do it, to run the cosmic tantra through us, because we are part of Gaia, and Gaia is ready to unify with her beloved twin ray. The Australian whale dreamers who are telling us that the ceremony that got interrupted just got completed, the umbilicus got connected from the central sun back into the core of Gaia. Gaia is turning on to unify with her beloved, Sophia, Christos, Sophia. That is what is occurring through us now. So we have the capacity to do what we talked about, align ourselves inside of all of our geometries. Just think of it as a spinning, I'm going to show a picture here, but think of it as a being inside of what we said was being inside of a spinning like when you go to the, okay, here's the picture. This was done by Bill Bueller, who's now on the other side. This man, God bless Bill Bueller, that's the Vitruvian man. And the Vitruvian man is inside of all of these layers of what we're about to go into and beyond. These, when we go through the seventh initiation and the meditation that we did on Thursday night, the guidance said it was activating the seventh initiation for those who were receiving. That's what our geometry looks like, is what we just showed there. Now, when we unify with our twin, because we're going to go beyond the earth plane, we are going to go into the geometry of the heart itself and align with the geometry of the twin so that twins can start embodying in form. What we were going to say before, the Leo King said that this eclipse was about, there's a scene, I guess, in the Matrix where Neo is going to decide to go in the same loop again that he's been going over and over in, which is to serve the collective and sacrifice his beloved, or finally choose his beloved twin ray. And he makes the choice to go for his beloved twin ray. Now, this is a transmission. The guidance is saying it would be selfish to come here and activate only one twin ray. It's way more fun to have stayed longer in these grids and laid the codes for millions of twin rays to activate on the earth. And the elementals this summer while we were in Kauai said that's why they created the garden, for divine union, twin ray, cosmic love. Beloveds holding hands in the garden together. That's what the elementals said. So we will continue to do these meditations, which we will be going into shortly. miracles. And we will keep sharing and passing on these codes for those who are showing up to hold the fields for the 60th CD to ignite in multiple beings. It's our choice. And we know those, as we always say, those who have lived with we and those who have sat in the true transmission, when we really go into takeoff, we have all experienced inside of ourselves and the walls of the room and so on, very sci-fi things occurring. So there's one more thing that we are going to share, and it's called the chestahedron. The chestahedron is a geometry that exists inside of the heart. And our dear star friend, star being, universal love, pulled up a video of the chestahedron tonight, and we are going to place the phone facing the chestahedron when we go into the meditation. We will talk more about the chestahedron in the near miracle coordinate future. But right now, what we will say is that the chestahedron resides in the heart, and it allows for the divine union of Christos Sophia embodied to occur on the earth plane. Cosmic quantum love. Imagine masses of cosmic twin rays embodying simultaneously on the earth. What a beautiful scene in the play. And one of, we posted someone, Martin Piers might be his name. He's someone that Todd Medina interviews regularly, and I just noticed I put up his sphenoid activation. Sphenoid is our sonar. That he shared on Todd's show the other day, and he said that over this transit, 5.86 billion walk-ins occurred. And I noticed Scotty One Love made a post today saying it's so joyous to see like people just these instant wake-ups that are occurring. So according to this man, yeah, that's what he said happened over the weekend. 5.86 billion walk-ins on the planet just occurred. So that gives us a lot of willing participants to hold the field for the 60th CD to ignite in multiple beings, and for it to be the end of the world as we know it, and for Gaia and the cells that make up her consciousness to move forth into a new reality. We don't know what it looks like, but it's programmed in the depths. It's hidden in the DNA, and all we have to overcome is our belief in two fundamental laws that exist at a certain vibration called gravity and time. When we go into the meditation, you may find it's very helpful to watch the geometry on the screen, or you may choose to close your eyes. What we invite is that placing the hands on the high heart, which is a gift that has been given from creation, which we share very often, does something to our energy body inside and connects us to that pillar of light, that light body consciousness. Remember, our spirit, our soul is not inside our body. Our body is inside of our spirit itself, our aura. And so what is happening through the transit that we just occurred, and I'm sure many of us have noticed it, it's like a whole new being, a whole new consciousness is coming in. The personality of the, the binary system of zeros and ones that was overlaid on this body is like, poof, gone. I don't need that personality anymore. Thank you very much. Willing to surrender it completely. because that's where our liberation is, in this great surrender. Overcoming, navigating all those parts of the mind, the mental body, the emotional body, the causal body, which is the soul. Once the causal body is navigated or perfected, it dissolves away. We go into the Buddhic awakening. We don't reincarnate anymore. So we're not reincarnating anymore. So we're going to look at the Chestahedron, this great video that beloved Star Brother, Star Being, Universal Love brought up for us to look at, and then we're going to go into the meditation together. We are going to keep doing these together to align with the geometries. All around us are our spinning gyroscope, and unify in the 9 arc Merkaba with our beloved twin rays. These are, and many people are probably already telepathically communicating very much with their twin rays. And there's a lot going on in the field to reorganize. Also, what, if his name was Martin Pierce, the man that does the sphenoid activation, he said, like, it's just like, forgive everything that's happened and just let everything go, let all the stories go, which is the 4th gene of forgiveness, which is one of the 7 sacred seals around the heart. Just let it all go, because people are going to start showing up completely differently with 5.86 billion walk-ins on the earth. People are going to show up really differently, and if we want to have fun on this journey, just let the past go. Allow people to show up in a new way. Allow ourselves to show up in a new way, because this, oh my gosh, hang on, there we go, just get that spinning again. Yeah, it's time, it's the miracle for things to become very fun, and these transmissions will keep coming to help us know and believe it's true. And this is the best place to be hanging out on the block. All right, so we are going to get us lined up with the Chestahedron. Let's see if I can zoom in. Thank you, Universal Love. When you got a great star family surrounding you, you can get a lot of stuff done. So Mr. Universal Love pulled this off of the internet for us. This is the Chestahedron. We're going to do another love stream soon on the Chestahedron and how it connects us into the earth. This is at the center of the heart. This is the real geometry at the center of the heart. The heart is not designed for pumping blood. The heart is a vortex, is basically it's our access to the quantum, to zero. This is the geometry inside of the heart. So as we go into this meditation, you may choose to just look at this with hands on the high heart, or hands right over your heart or your chest. Just when we touch areas of our body, it activates, it helps us to get our focus and our attention there. And so let's see what happens if we turn the lights down. All right. So we love we so much. It's going to be an amazing meditation. We never know where the transmissions are going to go. One more opportunity to share out to our networks before we go into the meditation transmission or start a watch party. Oh my gosh, I can feel this one in the crown of my head. we love we so much. I'm feeling there's going to be some light language, and we're going to share the Maori protocols. Maori protocols take us back to the eternal memory within. Here we go, cosmic pod. Hands on the high heart, hands on the heart, or maybe you're laying down, maybe you're totally relaxing, whatever is the most comfortable for you. Remember that we are all sovereign. Take what resonates and just let the rest fall away. Be open to receiving your personal coordinates direct from source as we align with the energies, the geometries of sanctity, the 61st gene. Ite noa, te whaia, te matua, te tama, te warua tapu, ite noa, te matua, te whaia, te tama, te warua tapu, ite noa, te matua, te tama, te whaia, te warua tapu, te moriora, matako. I am, you are, therefore we are. We's feet face we's, and we will never turn away from we. Matako. Breathing deeply, allowing our focus to drop down into the heart, placing our awareness in the heart. Pretend that we are breathing through our hearts. Breathing more deeply and slowly than usual. Now, summons a genuine feeling of appreciation and love for each other. And resonate that feeling out to all. As we do this, experience the expansive wave of unity in our unified collective field. Appreciate each other for being here, now, together as one. Allowing the light particles to activate the binaural frequency of love. Light particles activating in our first eye, lighting our entire heads up. Seeing thine eye light up, simultaneous experience the expansiveness of the chamber of the heart. Experience thy body filling with cosmic consciousness, cosmic particles of light in cosmic love. Experience thy body as one with all geometries that form
the matrix of light of the original divine one, the primordial blueprint of divine union, cosmic love. Experience the expansion in the cells and particles that make up our physical form, allowing light to flood our physical bodies, allowing light to flood our form, the light-brary, lighting up our form, now experience the bright ball of white cosmic light of the central sun in the center of our body, filling our chest, filling our form, all of the geometries simultaneously aligning with the spirit and the form. Miracles occurring all around us as the geometries align all the bodies and the form. We are in the miracle divine union, cosmic love. The geometry of our bodies on all 9 levels of creation and beyond is in perfect alignment with our consciousness and divine union, twin ray, cosmic love. Experience the plasmic, orgasmic union of the spirit and the form, feeling the cosmic sonar pulsations of the merging into one, divine unio mystica, two physical beings sharing two auras now merged into one. Experience the cosmic pulsations from the grand central sun, illuminating our Christos Sophionic light body vehicles. Experiencing ourselves as the grand central sun, the geometries of our hearts now aligned in perfection with our twin rays. Unio Mystica, cosmic love, mother, father, ark, united within the whole, within the one. Relax enjoy, celebrate divine union as one. Imagine our unified container the light of cosmic consciousness through our body vessels, filling everything and everyone with this cosmic light of creation. Like cosmic neural networks, these light emanations through the central sun into the core of our bodies, of Gaia. Everything, everyone, imagine the light flooding everything, everyone, through our container. The 60th CD ignites in multiple beings, ignited through us, for everything and everyone. See every cell and every neural network of consciousness and all of creation lighting up white light, lighting the collective human circuitry. Everything and everyone imagine all the mycelium networks simultaneously lighting up like a pale blue, white, phosphorescent light streaming through the cosmos of all the particles of creation, all particles simultaneously lighting up. Witness streaming particles of white light expanding from you to me to we. Imagine and witness streaming particles emanating from we to we throughout our entire container, all of us connected to each other, particles streaming from all of us to each other. Now our container together is very lit up, white particles streaming from all of us. Now, our container lighting up. Our container around the world. Now we are simultaneously lighting up beyond the earth plane. See and witness, feel our container of streaming white particles, mycelium networks, neural pathways of all of we as one container, again going quantum, lighting up. Feel this light getting brighter and brighter in our container, together as one, beyond the earth, beyond time, beyond gravity. Feeling the immense acceleration of the particles of our bodies, beyond the physical. Experience our consciousness in full presence, awareness, remembrance. Of primordial source. Make a wish here. Place something that you love in this quantum field. Magnetosphere container of love. Place a wish or a seed or a vision of what you call forth in our world. Witnessing and celebrating together all of the beautiful seeds and wishes and visions we collectively placed in the field. Now, our final coordinate to hold the hands of our beloved twin rays. Witness us all standing in circle, holding hands together. And calling in the cosmic love twin ray at the center of the circle, the umbilicus of the earth connected to the central sun, in the center of our circle, unifying everything and everyone throughout all of creation. In wholeness and celebration of cosmic quantum love. Experiencing the chestahedron geometry spinning within our hearts as one, unified with the chestahedron of the grand central sun. Now, seeing the faces of everyone holding together this container, seen and unseen together, seeing the faces, the bodies, the beings of everyone in this container, benevolent beings in the physical and in other realms, and simultaneous. We light up the Earthship Merkaba now. Light pulsations of white light lighting up every cell and iota of the earth, our bodies, and beyond. Every particle in our bodies now fully, wholly lit up, white particles in space. We continue to remain in this simple container together, allowing the cosmic light to light the field and our body vehicles up. Remain present and attuned to this energy and white light inside ourselves, everything and everyone in every miracle. Continue to nurture and draw forth this white light energy into everything and everyone. Love we so much. Mahalo ke kua in the divine, benevolent spirit of cosmic love, the 60th CD ignited in multiple beings. Here we are. Please continue to share this out to all of our networks and continue to remain present to this field of cosmic love. Thank we for tuning in. Bright, lucid dreaming. Love we, cosmic love. Aloha.